Hi all, just a quick one tonight. Wondering what else you can do and what else you can open with a Coke bottle. I've shown you slipping. What I've got here is this is looking at lock impressioning. So got a nice little era Yale lock, standard lock. We have got Coke bottle, Coke genuine obviously. What we've done is we've cut a little bit of plastic out of it. Now what we can do to impression this key, get that little piece of plastic. Now it's got a little bit of curve in it like so. And you'll also notice in the lock that if you're going to squeeze a piece of plastic up in there, you'll see that you'd have to curve around that ward there. So you'd have to, or you know, that little groove thing there. You see that? So what we're going to do is we're going to cut the piece of plastic in the shape of the key that way. So we're going to lay that down there that way. Make sure the key fits there. And all we're going to do is going to lay one on top of the other like so. Hold it down. I do this with a needle. And I'm just going to scribe the plastic with the needle like so. All the way up until you get that final fence there. That's the one. Now, depends on how new your lock is as to how accurate you'll need to be. The older the lock, the less accurate you'll need to be. So get that there, like that. Then, we'll get the bottom of the lock, we'll get the ward at the bottom there, sorry, the fence bit at the bottom. And we'll get the length of the key, like so, and the little end piece. There we go, what we've got there. It's a nice little, I know it's not very easy to focus on, but a nice little impression of the key. What we'll do then is we'll cut it out like so. By the way, if you can turn the scissors here rather than cutting a sharp line into a sharp line, it lasts longer. Anyway, I'm going to cut that off there. There. So obviously all I'm doing now is I'm cutting the shape of the key. If you happen to have a scalpel, that'll make your life even easier. A lot of people are wondering why I'd show this type of video. Really, it's because I'm starting to realise that a lot of the stuff that we take for granted as security really isn't. I mean, some of the padlocks that I buy for £2-3 quid and think, yeah, that'll look after my gear, they just don't. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to follow each one of these little dimples. So all we're doing is we're just cutting out that shape that we've got. Now, a lot of people suggest you leave a little bit more on the back of the key, so that what happens is that when it takes up that curve, it can, you know, it's not sort of shortened in the lock. Personally, I don't agree. I think that you cut it to the shape of the key and then jiggle it if it won't quite go. Okay, I'm probably going to make a mistake on camera here, I'm pretty sure. So, what we're going to do is we're going to cut it. Now bear in mind, if someone gets hold of your keys, they can impression your keys within 2 seconds. They can just press it into a piece of plasticine and do this at home at their leisure. So that's something you've got to be aware of as well. That counts for any type of key. That doesn't just count for this type. So I'll cut that a bit more. And then what we're looking at doing is just checking the key against that. Now I'm not going to bore you. I've actually cut another one previously. I've just spent a little bit more time because I don't want to spend too much time messing you about on camera. What you can do is you can see, I'm just going to lay one up against the other like that, and you can see, hang on, they match against each other just perfectly. I did one earlier, worked perfectly but snapped. Anyway, so will it work? In this instance I've cut it a little bit slimmer than the key, as you can tell. Just see there, it's a little bit shorter than the key. You see how it's a little bit thinner than the key. So what you got to do, get that in there. bearing in mind it's not obviously a it's not a strong piece of equipment, and you've got to go right down to the ward where it needs to go, and then watch it not work for me today. There we go. Little bit of a jiggle. Oh dear, missed that out. Missed it, didn't I? Need to go right down to the end. There we go. Takes a bit of trying to get it right, but there we are. That's a Coke bottle with, I mean, you know, you've seen how rough I've done this. I mean, I just used a pair of household scissors. I spent a couple of minutes doing it. I didn't muck about. If you can imagine, if someone could get hold of your key and impression it on, I mean, the only reason I've got this envelope is so you can see it better. If you could impression someone's key like that, you can get hold of it. So, keep your keys to yourself. Don't let anyone get near them, because it's that easy. You know, that's not going to last very long, and I'm sure there's better bits of equipment you could, better bits of plastic you could make this out of than a Coke bottle. But you know, it does just show how easy that is. I mean, I haven't made the most robust piece of robust lock key there, but still, you get the point. They do break quite easy, look. But better Coke bottle maybe, but it shows the principle. A couple of minutes, you've got yourself a key. There we are. Hope that helps.